so sick and fucking tired of hearing about privilege. Privilege isn't being white, bonehead. Privilege is living in government housing and calling people oppressors while they pay your fucking bills. Get it? I'm done pretending that any of this bullshit makes sense. You want to talk about privilege? You want to talk about real privilege? Real privilege is wearing $200 sneakers when you haven't worked a day in your life. Privilege is walking around with $300 Beats headphones while you're living on fucking food stamps, while you're on public assistance, and it's paid for by people who wake up and grind every day. Privilege is having the latest smartphone with unlimited data and having zero idea where the bill goes because somebody else is always picking up the tab. Privilege is being able to protest every little thing that offends you without worrying about calling in sick to work because you don't have a fucking job. Privilege is being able to cheat, lie, fail over and over again in life and still get bailed out while people who play by the rules get punished. That's privilege. This isn't about race. This isn't about class. This is about accountability. We've got a culture that rewards victimhood and demonizes work ethic and responsibility. Meanwhile, the people holding everything together for the rest of society, they get taxed into the fucking ground. Their businesses get choked by regulation, and they get personally vilified for speaking up and saying that this is bullshit. You want to talk about privilege? Then start with the people who've never paid the price, but who also scream the loudest. Because they've never had to build anything. They've never had to defend anything. They've never had to carry any real weight. And the reason they get away with it? It's because we don't live in a society of strong men anymore. No. That's been dismantled on purpose over the last 50 years. Because a society of strong men would never put up with any of this bullshit. And that's exactly why they came after us first.
All right, I think this might be the last story for the day. Y'all probably like, damn, he hasn't really given me the anthropology reading. I want to make sure I get all the little footage to draw it into proper context and stuff like that, to talk about this is, man, that coffee is hitting. That's too much. I can't mess with that nitro stuff too much anymore. So what I want to do, jeez, man, Burkle ain't no man. I'm telling you, you better watch it on Burkle. They just keep coming and coming and coming. The way they designed is crazy. But anyway, so this is gonna be essentially part 3 of that story with the company. Was it 2 or part 3? It'd be part 3. It'd be part 3. So it's a 3-part story. So I just uploaded the story. You'll hear that in a minute. Where I talk about why my homie wouldn't sell me his Chevy Caprice. You know what I'm saying? That's an Adventures of DP story. So now I need some water. So this 3rd-part story is my Somali homie that was at that company. He was breaking down Elevator Bob, I think I called him. It was Elevator Bob. When Elevator Bob wanted to lecture him about, or Thankful Bob, I'll call it, Thankful Bob. So Thankful Elevator Bob was gonna lecture, they was gonna lecture one of my guys. It's so many, I think it must be he was gonna lecture one of my guys about him being in the country. So he's doing a site. Now he's telling me, I gotta get this damn fly out of here. Hold on, y'all. I don't know if that thing went. It's one of them little flies, and they really fast. They ain't like your typical house flies. And y'all know, cause I used to study these little things. They're rapid flyers. They fly extremely fast. So just don't know why so many of these things out today, man. It's something about the weather, and they keep flying by the, I don't know if it's ants or flies or whatever. was supposed to turn in right there. So anyway, I was interrupted, y'all. My bad. So he's doing some network engineering work. I think at this point he might have got his Cisco CCNA, or he might have been doing some work in field work. So he told me this story about, I think one of the guys, because you know how like the vendors, you're the vendor and you are trying to you're coming in to do some work or do whatever the case it may be, and man, I'm gonna park way over here. That way I ain't gotta be by people's cars. I don't like parking by a lot of people's cars. So get myself together. So he's doing network engineering work or some kind of telecom, some routers and switches, some kind of work. And I think either a vendor came to the building where he worked, or he was going to do some work off of Field Nation. And I guess it was a white dude that he was either walking to the door, or I think the white guy was in there doing some kind of work or something of the sort. He was at he was either at that company that was out south, or he was at his new company. It was one or the other. I can't remember what it was. But what ended up happening was they got into the elevator, and it was a bunch of brothers. These damn things. It was a bunch of brothers. Oh, these are flying ants or something like that. Yeah, it must be that season, because I keep seeing them. They keep flying all around the car, and I think it's because of the heat or whatever the case may be. But they're like flying. Damn, it's a bunch of them, man. It must be the queens or something like that. I might park closer. I don't want to deal with these damn things. But yeah, I think they're flying ants. And they die pretty soon. They're not going to be around for too long, but it's a bunch of them. They're kind of annoying. I thought they were wasps at first, but I think they're flying ants. So I think it's the queens or something. But yeah, they're not going to be around too long. So the guy is talking to the brother in the elevator, and he said something like, are you happy? You should be grateful, or something like that. You should be happy that you're in this country. Shouldn't you be happy that you're in this country, or something like that, he said. So he thought, this is what he thought he was going to get out of him. Because this is the game they used to play. That don't work no more. But this is the game they used to play. A lot of times what they would do with black immigrants is they sit them down in front of a TV and start talking slick about us. And then they say, well, stay away from them and this, that, and the third. And they would show them a small percentage of our culture, of the underbelly of black society. That's what they would do. And so sometimes what that would do is, initially on in the 90s, and they might still do it to a certain degree, but I don't know. I don't think they really do that. And so they would permeate these mindsets about them thinking about us, because they would show them stuff on TVs. They would literally program them when they come into this country. That's what they would do. And I've talked to multiple black immigrants that have said this. Now, they can't use that no more, because we got this damn TikTok. You got damn near not like us across all the planet. So folks can see the magnitude and the history of what we've done. Nobody can't really use that old, I was brainwashed and y'all ain't got no culture and this, that, and the third, and y'all baby mamas and all that. No, they can't use that anymore. They can't. So whenever people try to use that, that's like old 90s shit they try to say. It's kind of like, oh, not only did we work to make sure y'all got over here since the early 1900s, in the past 100 and something years in this country, we done did a lot Our folks done really put it down far as inventors. We built stuff and exported culture and created things that no other person on planet Earth has created. So they can't use the, oh, well, here's the TV. Y'all are just black criminals and crimes and bloods and crips. They can't use that no more because everybody got the internet. So nobody can't use that excuse. But this dude was telling, this white guy was trying to use that narrative as, well, we're the ones that you're over here because of us. Aren't you so happy and grateful? Ain't you a grateful Negro? And the Somali dude looked at him and says, you see him sitting over there? I guess they were walking to the elevator and there was an area where brothers were on the help desk or whatever the case may be or something like that. That's what's told to me. He said, you see that? I said, you see them brothers sitting over there? Jerome and Keisha or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever the brothers' names, brothers and sisters' names. You see them over there? Them freedmen over there. He said, them black Americans. He said, I think Jerome. Oh, the white dude got mad. Oh, he got some. Well, don't you think? It's patriots like me that made it possible for you to be here. He said, no. I think Jerome. He said, Jerome and Keisha, that's why I'm here, not you. Their folks paved the way for me to show up and enjoy the benefits of what their folks built in this country. Everybody, he told the white dude, he said, man, anybody that showed up on a boat, claimed asylum, any of that, all of that was because of them sitting right over there in that chair. Black American freedmen. He said, I don't thank you, I thank them. That was too much. Oh, so dude started going into the welfare and he tried to do the whole little. Brother Muhammad wasn't going for it. He wasn't going for it. He had to kind of let that white dude know. Because he thought that he was going to be able to say something slick about us and get on board. And, you know, he thought that he was going to be able to say something and try to use Brother Muhammad as a buffer. What is that? Oh, we need him. That's a small white spider. I know I'm going off the subject, but you know, I'm telling you, these little house flies and these ants, they dive bombing everywhere. And I ain't gonna kill the spider. I'm gonna let him build a web and nail their ass. He gonna wrap them up. He gonna wrap them up like a Rico case. They trying to wrap them up like Diddy. I'm gonna let that spider on my car be the diddler. Yeah, he's trying to. Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, so yeah, he checked the white dude. He checked Elevator Bob, Thankful Bob, Grateful Bob. He checked him. He let him know, nah, you didn't do nothing. You didn't do anything but show up on the shores. You didn't really do anything. He let him know the reason why I'm over here is those folks over there. But that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to paint the narrative that you should be grateful and thankful to be in this country because of me. Because of me. Because of, you know, blonde and present Brad. And the brother wasn't going for it. So I thought that was an interesting story. So I started to kind of wonder. I wonder what else. I wonder what else, what were those people saying? What else do they say behind closed doors like that? Because see, people say, oh, well, there's no difference. Yes, there is. These white folks, they know the difference. They figure like, okay, these American Negroes, these are our Negroes. We know our Negroes. They look at it from a standpoint. They usually only try that when they talk to them. They'll talk to them like that and ask those kind of questions. Or sometimes what they'll do is they'll try to talk to us. Sometimes if they get some kind of, if they suspect they could talk to a certain black American person a certain way and they start talking about black immigrants or African people, they'll start saying, well, yeah, well, those people over there. And they'll shut that down as soon as I say something like this. Well, y'all messed up their country. Y'all colonized their country. Oh, you know, some of those Africans helped sold us. Well, you provided the boats though, see? They'll shut that conversation down quick. They know what kind of person you are. They know that we can't say something slick about them and feel comfortable to talk to somebody, to talk to the freedmen about it. They can't talk to black American freedmen about it that think that way. If they think they could pull the coon card and start saying real slick stuff about other black folks that's not from this country, they will. They'll go on with it like, oh well, yeah, what you think about them and all the crime and all this kind of. They'll try that. They'll try that with if they think they could get it away. If they think they could get away with it from us. But when we say, oh well, you messed up their country, you colonized their country, you another Elon Musk, then they ain't gonna talk about that no more. They ain't even gonna bring up those subjects about politics, black on black crime. They're not gonna do none of that because they know they don't have a quote unquote good Negro. But when those brothers from the motherland, first, second generation, when they shut them down that way, oh no, Jerome's the reason why I'm over here, not you. They not gonna try that with them either. Maybe that one person, you know, but they're not. But if they start doing that and they tell them, no, we over here because of them. But those are the kind of little games that they play in the workplace. So ain't no telling what they be saying all the time. Because I done heard all kind of stuff. So that's part 3 of that story. It took a while for me to get to it, but there you go.